Did the Jets play the Browns this year? The battle of Bucks ownership?
Well, assuming that
What?
your guy still comes.
What do you mean?
They do play the Browns.
Aha! There we go.
I mean,
Assuming what?
he's still a member of the Packers.
Dude, stop.
So
Stop it. Just stop it. Stop it.
It's 90 miles from Chicago to Milwaukee.
Stop it.
What do you stop? What?
Aaron Rodgers is going to be a New York Jet.
Rich, you've been saying this every day for 6 weeks.
I know it.
Well, what are we
I'm
doing?
right.
What are we doing?
I'm right almost all the time when it comes to this stuff. Didn't I tell you, Chris, just as a for instance, didn't I tell you coming out of the combine, Bryce Young, it's going to the combine, it's Bryce Young. It's going to be Bryce Young. It's totally Bryce Young. It's Bryce Young's world. And we're just the number one overall draft pick rent payers in this football world. Mm-hmm. I told you, coming out of the combine, at some point it'll be C.J. Stroud. At some point. And guess what happened? It was C.J. Stroud for a month. C.J. Stroud, they love him. They're talking to him. They dapped him up more than anybody else they dapped up at pro days. Now who's back on top prior to this draft? Bryce Young. I told you this is the way it would work.
Well, now you're believing the Vegas odds.
I told you the way it would work.
Saying TJ.
I'm telling you. When you said Daniel Jones not getting $40 million a year. He's not.
That's not what I said. I said he doesn't deserve it. Big difference.
Let's not rack it back. You said he doesn't deserve it. He won't get it.
I think it'd be insane.
And I said he will get it.
There's no way the Giants make the playoffs.
What he gets when it's his turn with the leverage that he has. And guess what he has? I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers will be a Jet. I'm telling you. You really think the Packers are gonna 100% just stand their ground and just eat $60 million for him not to play for them? Really? Really? And you don't think the Jets...
Bakhtiari thinks so.
You think the Green Bay Packers, because the compensation for the second draft choice in this trade, sliding scale, they don't like the sliding scale, and both sides can't figure out the compensation properly, that they're going to go into training camp with this guy making his intentions known, take it all the way to September 1, and pay him off to sit him at home. You really think so? And you think the Jets are going to panic and cough up what they're going to cough up because Zach Wilson looks terrible in preseason games? I mean, let's extrapolate it out. You really think so? Really think so?
What is the Jets' alternative?
I just told it to you.
Play a guy who stinks. Then you're just tanking the season.
This trade gets done in the next 2 weeks.
Before the draft.
Or during it.
Which day?
I don't know. I mean, my crystal ball's in a box over here. I'll bust it out.
Okay.
You know, this nonsense has gone on too long. I got to kick what's more likely to the next hour.
Sorry, folks.
You with this whole business, everybody. Right, look. Right now,
you thought when Rodgers went on Pat and was like, "Hey, my intention is to play for the Jets." You thought within a week the deal would be done.
I did think that the Jets, in meeting him, had already discussed compensation. I was surprised that compensation wasn't worked out before they started going down this road. Yes. I would have thought
tax day.
I would have thought. No, I know.
He's still.
I got it. I would have thought. I would have absolutely thought just getting on the plane to speak to Aaron Rodgers and the permission that was granted for that to happen, that both sides had already agreed on a compensation package if Rodgers said yes. I thought that. Correct. Not denying that.
And he said yes, and now what's the holdup?
Surprised that wasn't hammered out. Correct. And surprised it hasn't been done by now. Except for the fact that I keep saying this is a midnight league, or whenever I refer to that 1201 type league, that nothing gets done until the last possible second, until it has to. And the issue with this is might as well review it once again, is there's a difference of interpretation from both sides as to when the clock strikes midnight. Green Bay's clock strikes midnight at September 1st, which is when they have to pay Aaron Rodgers by letter of his contract. So they're happy to just keep him right where he is and let Jordan Love take all the reps because Rodgers isn't going to be there. And Love will just get the reps in off-season workout program and the mini camps and the mandatory mini camps and the training camps, and they'll go into the season with their guy, and that's it.
But this is about the Jets.
Hold on a second. That whole process doesn't take into account that they don't get any extra draft picks for Rodgers this year. They also assume Rodgers won't show up. Oh, okay. Yeah, he'll just sit in darkness between now and then.
Darkness.
Really? Is that it?
Yeah, go shopping
Okay.
for stones.
And so the
crystals.
Jets midnight is the beginning of training camp because they don't want to have a training camp season without Rodgers. Then Rodgers' training camp basically is the first month of a season.
Yeah.
And he's not on same pages and whatever, despite whatever personal workouts he can have with the guys. But that midnight strikes then, they get to use their draft choices. And Zach gets all the reps. What if Zach just starts lighting it up in spring?
What if I wake up tomorrow with a full head of hair?
Understood.
That's possible, though.
Yeah.
I'm
what are we
telling you, what I just laid out benefits neither party. Because Jordan Love has this whole thing hanging over him this entire time.
Also looming, the Jets are most likely going to be Hard Knocks this year.
Oh, whatever. Who cares?
Who
That'd be
cares?
great. That'd be fun.
Whatever.
It's going to be amazing.
Great. You know who'll be on Hard Knocks this year? Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. Too many variables where the Jets are going to have to make a move because if Rodgers does sit around in training camp, is it possible Rodgers turns into this year's Jimmy Garoppolo? He's gone, long gone. Nothing's going to ever bring him back. All of a sudden, Jordan Love gets hurt in training camp. Look who they need to call. The guy they already have on the roster.
And Rodgers says, pay me $90 million.
And Rodgers says, I still want to be a Jet. How does that work?
Is there a chance Rodgers just goes at some point, you know what? I'm good. Change my mind.
Yes.
He already was
Absolutely.
90% there.
But guess what? When it all comes down to it, he will be a Jet, and it'll be glorious. And I want you to keep the same intensity. Please. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.